Hello, hello, my beautiful people. I am super excited to be here today for our interview with one of our providers, wellness providers. And today I have Dee Twentyman. I am super excited to see her and dive a little bit deeper into who she is and how she's serving because she's one of our future providers, but also because she is one of our skis panelists, speakers panelists into our next micro summit in the chronic illness and recovery on April 12th. So welcome, Dee. Welcome.
Hi, thanks, Adriana. Nice to be here.
We're excited to have you here. Dee, she is a mind and body wellness mentor, and she's dedicated to help individuals to reconnect with their inner resilience during the life challenges. Oh boy, we have challenges, especially today day. She's a hypnotherapist and the next level mind body healing. So, Dee, please tell us a little bit about your story. What got you to get to be part of doing the work as a provider, as a wellness provider, and what is that purpose that got you to be here today?
Just excuse me before I start because I've got a very tickly thing in my throat and I need to get some water. 2 minutes.
Yes, yes, yes. No worries. Dee, she's been in our group and she's here to support you. Her work is on emotional awareness, self-empowerment, and she's here to give you a little bit of a wisdom and a little bit of her experience so you have a understanding of what she is about and how she can serve you.
Thank you, Adriana. Yes, so I got brought into this work through my own lived experience of chronic illness. And I didn't really call it chronic illness at the time. I just thought it was just the way my body worked. This was just it. And it came to me later on that actually this is a chronic condition. This was a chronic condition. And I was diagnosed when I was around 8 years old. And at the time, nobody understood why I couldn't, go to the toilet properly, why I didn't want to go to school, why I was holding back things. And the doctor diagnosed me with what was called a nervous tummy to explain to an 8-year-old exactly what was going on, that I was an anxious child and the world around me was really making me anxious for whatever reason that was happening back then. And so throughout that time, from 8 years old all the way up, I continued to have bouts of IBS quite regularly. In fact, most of the time. And so I got to a stage in my life through various things happening to me. And I realized that it wasn't the food that I was eating, it was something a lot deeper than that.
Mm.
And I then discovered that hypnotherapy was very good for IBS because that's by that time I'd had the actual diagnosis from a doctor, the adult diagnosis, if you like, that it was IBS. And so I found out a little bit about hypnotherapy, and there was something called gut directed hypnotherapy that a gastroenterologist in Wythenshawe Hospital in Manchester had run a pilot program. And I then went to a lecture of his, and then I signed up to train with him
Mm.
and do his training. And then I followed on by becoming a hypnotherapist, and then I went into psychotherapy. But I had a career in mental health and anxiety, stress, all of those. That was my career at that time. And I decided that I would like to actually work in chronic pain conditions, really. So it was 38 years of lived experience and then 27 years of working as a professional with the mind and body connection and how the body holds on to certain things that is going on in our minds and our emotions that we are not necessarily aware of, such as subconscious programming and patterns of behavior that we operate in as a safety mechanism, if you like, to help us get through life. And so that is really where my interest came, because of my own lived experience. And as soon as I started to do that and use hypnotherapy for that, that is when I actually started to heal. That mind body connection started to make sense to me, and my symptoms actually disappeared. And I'm now 99.9% free from a diagnosis that I was told would be lifelong and I'd have to manage it. And I don't anymore.
Wow, that's an incredible story to get you to the point to today where now you're using what supported you to support others as well. For someone that is not quite familiar with hypnotherapy or the work you do. Can you give us a little bit of what's happening exactly? How do you exactly you support people so they have a little bit of understanding on that?
Hmm. Well, hypnotherapy is one of those things that a lot of people have still a lot of suspicion over,
Yeah,
unfortunately, because of media, because of seeing things on films and people being controlled and made to look like
yeah,
zombies. And none of that is actually real. There's a difference between the stage hypnosis, which is all for entertainment, and hypnotherapy, which is all medical. Okay, it goes into the psychology of how our brains actually physically operate. So, hypnotherapy just basically is using a brainwave pattern that you're in and out of all the time. And it's the part of the brainwaves that slow down when you're doing something, when you're focused. So, for instance, you're watching TV and engrossed in a film, or you're engrossed in a book, or you're
yeah.
really focusing on a task. And when you focus on that, everything else in your awareness gets pushed to the background, and you can really focus on that and really do well in what you're doing. And a lot of students are in that frame of mind when they're studying and things like that. So hypnosis is actually a brainwave state, and it's a
Mhm.
focused concentration on an idea or a concept that is interesting to you and beneficial to you. So if you want to heal and you really, really want to get the benefits of that, then hypnosis can help you because it can block out everything else. And then I can actually, or somebody like me, can actually get into that part of the mind that actually is there to help you survive. So your subconscious's job is basically there to keep you alive. And it will do that in any way it thinks is working, even if you're still alive, but the rest of your life is a bit of a mess. It doesn't
Mhm.
realize that. It just goes, no, the organism is still alive. It's still breathing. It's fine. Everything's going well. But the rest of your life is a bit chaotic and messy. Or somebody like me will come in and say, okay, you can get the benefits of still being alive, but also all of the things that you really want to get as well, which is a happier life, a comfortable life, a peaceful life, and have a healthy body as well. And so this is why hypnotherapy works really, really well. So it's a really getting somebody into a relaxed state where they're able to absorb the message that their nervous system is actually safe. Because with IBS and migraine, which is what I specifically work with, is that the nervous system is stuck in that mode of not feeling safe. And hypnotherapy is very, very good at helping your nervous system calm down, relax, and realize that it is actually safe. And then we can start doing other things together.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's why I ask, because there's so many people that they think it's controversial, or like you said, they only see one side of it, but they don't see the actually benefits of it. And I'm a person that I did with someone, yeah, many years ago, that I did a couple of sessions, and for me it was life changing. It brought up memories that they were stuck somewhere in there that I didn't remember of them until a session like that. So I really appreciate your work and what you're doing. And it's, I think is one of the most important ways of bringing and supporting you in a deeper level than just the surface level when it comes to your psyche. So thank you so much for that kind of work that you do. When it comes to the people that you support and the people you have worked with until now, well, maybe if you have a situation in your mind that what the people they were coming to you to they were looking for, and they were like not sleeping, or they were desperate and they needed your support? What was the most common thing, or if you did think of a specific situation that coming in your mind?
Okay. Well, because I work with chronic illness, that is the people that come to me.
Mm,
Simple as that. They come to me because they have a diagnosis of IBS, they have migraine, and they have tried everything, and they have worked really hard to actually look after themselves and do all the right things. They've changed their diets, they've taken the medications, they're taking the supplements, they're having the procedures. Nothing seems to be working. Everything's still the same, and their symptoms are not going away. These
mm-mm.
kind of things that they've been doing in the past have actually been working up to a point, but then the symptoms just keep coming back, and they're just managing. They're not actually living their life. And so they're the people that come to me. And so when I actually get somebody in front of me, I have to find out a little bit more about who they are, their lifestyle, I work with their thinking styles. Are they a catastrophic thinker? Do are they a black and white thinker? Are they do they like to feel that they have to do everything for everybody? They have to be the one that's responsible. They have to please people and all of that kind of thing. So I look at their basic living experience now, how they were as children, and what kind of personality style they have. Because everybody's personality is different, and each personality will have a set of behaviors that are employed within that personality. So if you are a very organized person, then you're going to have behaviors that mirror that organizational mind. If you're quite a fluid person in your thinking and quite creative, then you may have less of that controlling, but you may have other things that you do. So I really get into the person themselves, because this work is very personalized around their current situation and who they are as people, their beliefs, their opinions, their motivations, if you like. And all of these feed in to chronic pain. And I'm talking about chronic pain where there is no organic reason to have the pain. So things
Mm,
like IBS, things like migraine. If you've been to a GP and they've done all the neurological scans, they've done all the procedures, there's nothing organically wrong with your body. There's no breakdown of your cells, for instance, that's causing any kind of pain, then there's something else happening. And that's where I do the work. It's kind of like, let's look at why your body is responding to your thoughts and emotions in a way that is affecting this area of your body. And
yeah.
with IBS and migraine, they look like separate conditions, but the same patterns and processes are at play. And that's why they travel together. IBS
Mm,
and migraine generally travel together. And
mm,
this is where we can get underneath. And so I've worked with many people. I had a practice for a long time in Harley Street in London, and worked with a lot of women. And I work mainly with women because 65% of the global population of IBS and migraine sufferers are women. So it's
that's
huge.
incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they do heal. The people who actually come in and are ready and follow the processes that I give them from one session to the next, not just sitting in the room and thinking that's it for the week, I'll get on with my life now. But no, there's stuff to do within that week that you need to really be looking at and focusing on and altering and making changes. And then the hypnotherapy and the other cognitive work we do during the session all come in to cement it all in and actually start to work in that way. And they work
Mm.
and they do heal. They do heal.
I love that. I love that it's a continuous work in between, and like you said, not just in the sessions. So then they can, the work that you created together with that person, especially with the woman in that moment, then it's kind of still continuing afterwards. And it's not like I need all the time this. So I really love that and appreciate that. When it
Yeah.
comes to something that you could give. I know for the hypnosis part and the working with you, people need to connect with you, and definitely would love to have your links drop into the comments for those that are watching. You can connect with Dee after this. Was something that you could maybe a recommendation or something, the tip that you can support women with this kind of problems, emotionally, mentally, and physical problems that they can do on their own before they even come and see you?
The thing that I often say to them is to find at least 10 minutes a day where they can actually sit down with themselves and just take some time out for themselves and
Mm.
to actually ask themselves what is actually happening for them right at that moment and what do they actually want in that moment. So a lot of the time it's all around a feeling that we don't particularly like or feel comfortable with. And
Mm.
I would always say to them, in that moment, what feeling would you love? So I ask them, get the answer to that question. Sit down right at that moment. If you're frustrated with somebody, upset with somebody, things aren't working out for you, is just to sit down, find a little place by yourself, and just say to yourself, what would I love instead of this feeling that I'm feeling now?
Mm. That's a great question.
And then get the answer to that. Get the answer. I would love to feel X. Okay. And the next thing to do is to say, what do I need to do to get to that feeling? And then take that next obvious step. And that is a really good starting point to do the work that they would be doing with me once they decide to go further and actually sign up and do some work with me. It's that, what would I love in this moment? What do I need to do to get there? And then take the next obvious step. And that's just a very simple thing. And it takes practice to do that. But
Yes.
that is usually the first thing I would say to somebody who's had the nervous system assessment with me. It's a free call, 30 minutes. It's a nervous system assessment, and I decide whether or not that person is ready to work with me or not. But I would still give them that anyway and say, this is the starting point for you. And if you decide you want to come back and you're really, really ready to do the work, then please give me another call and we can work an appointment out for them from that point onwards.
Yeah. I hope you took notes. For those that are watching, I hope you took notes, or you can, wind down to a minute or two go and write out those questions and actually do the work. Because in the end, Dee is here to support you, but if you're not doing your own part, she cannot support you if you're not allowing yourself to get that support and seek for the help and do the work your part. No, Dee, is everybody has to do their own part in
Mm.
this work.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and let's switch it on the other side. If you could give advice to someone that is new into the wellness entrepreneurial world, you've been this for many years, you have seen a lot, you've experienced your own failures and successes in your own business. What would be that advice that you give to someone that will want to get into maybe hypnosis and the training and then create a business out of this and support people and serve? What would be that thing that you will say to them?
Well, there are a lot of hypnotherapy courses out there,
Yeah.
and you can, you can Google a lot of hypnotherapy training out there. And the thing about hypnotherapy is that it's unregulated in the UK. Okay, it's unregulated. So you can be a bus driver on a Friday, turn up at the weekend training to be a hypnotherapist, and on the Monday you can put a plaque outside your door and advertise for clients, which is ridiculous. Okay, but that's just how it is. And so I would always advise people who want to train in hypnotherapy to choose somebody who is part of a professional body that has a background and is registered with a professional body who is also monitored by that professional body. And that way you're going to find a much better in-depth training. You know, anybody, I could teach you how to hypnotize somebody in the next 5 minutes. It's not difficult. The thing is it's the background work that you need. You need the understanding of how the psychology works, because hypnosis is just a state of deep, deep relaxation. That's it.
Yeah.
The therapy is the part that does the work. And unless you've got a background in the subconscious, the psychology, the how the brain and how the mind and the body work together, and how your thought processes work, the hormones, the triggers, the neurotransmitter. If you need to know a lot about that, and then your language will then actually inform the client when they're in that state of hypnosis of that healing benefit that you're offering them. So really, it's not about the hypnosis itself. The hypnosis is a tool. It's therapy that you administer. Make sure you go into somebody that's really practiced in that, and somebody with a number of years practice who are, you know,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
regulated.
for sharing that. It's
Yeah.
so crucial. Yes, there's uh and people that try hypnotherapy and you work for them and it's like, I want to do this, I want to support this, and there's like you said, it's what you even start with, and definitely connect. And if you have more questions regards on that side as well, connect with Dee. We're gonna drop her links in the comments on this video, and then you will be able to connect with her and ask her whatever is on this path of the wellness. She knows exactly who to guide you and she can support you with that. Or if it's something that you're looking for, that you be struggling with your health, whatever is mentally, emotionally, or on your physical. So connect with Dee. Thank you so much, Dee, for sharing a little bit of your wisdom and your process and your journey with us. And I would like to ask how people can actually connect with you, where they can find you, and what's coming new for you.
Okay, so I have my Instagram account, which is Next Level Mind Body Healing. They can get in touch with me there. I have my Facebook group, Gutsy Women Today Facebook group, which is many women in there who have chronic pain conditions. It's a very safe space for people to come in and get some support in there. So that's where they can find me as well. And I have my Facebook page, obviously, and my new website is coming out. So once I actually get that fully up and running, I will put that in as well. And that's nextlevelmindbodyhealing.com.
Awesome. We're excited to see the website as well, and we're going to connect with you. Connect on and join her Facebook group. I'm part of it as well. And connect with her, ask her any questions. Or if you have something that she said that you like, wait a minute, I need to know more about that, definitely connect with her. We're going to have all the links in the comments. And talking about connection, we are super excited to have Dee for being our expert, one of our experts in the next Micro Summit. And we will talk about in more depth about chronic illness and the opposite, which is the recovery side. So I'm super excited to dive deep into that with Michelle and Lorna on our next Micro Summit on April 12th. And talking about the next Micro Summit, what is something that made you to say yes to the Micro Summit, and also what you're looking forward?
Well, it's a topic that I actually live. I live and breathe chronic illness and recovery, obviously, because we don't want to be in the chronic illness space. We want to be in the recovery space, don't we? Completely healed. And so it's a mission that I do live and breathe because I'm very, very passionate about it. So it's another reason why, that's one of the reasons why I joined. And to get the message out that chronic health conditions are not necessarily a lifelong diagnosis, that you can heal from a chronic condition once you actually apply certain things in your life and you start to look at different ways of healing. And so that's really what pulled me in. And Lorna, of course, I know Lorna and Michelle. And so that was lovely that they came into the inbox and asked me to consider whether I'd like to be a speaker or not. So yeah, I'd love to do that. And I also have a masterclass on 2 days before the summit, actually, a free masterclass in my group. And it is going to be talking more in depth of what we've actually spoke about today. So if anybody would like to join that, I can also put a link in there for them
Yes.
to register, and they can come in and join the Gutsy Women group. And I will be doing that live in there via Zoom, and they'll be able to talk about that and really get a full in-depth understanding of the kind of work I do. But yeah, this is why I joined, because it's just a massive passion of mine to get to reach as many women as possible in the world. You know, my mission this year is to get 15,000 women healed by the end of the year. So
Ooh.
it's a big ask I've put on myself. But yeah, so that's it.
Yeah.
That's my
We
mission.
excited. Definitely, we will support you on that. We'll be there to cheer and support you on that. And yes, for those older women that are watching this, please connect with her, and you can put also the link for your event into our in the comments in this video, and then people can connect and register. I'm gonna go there and register as well. So I'm super excited to be part of it. And thank you for supporting women in this, because I know even in my own circle, I know so many women are going through this kind of issues, and they feel like they have to like you said, you feel like you have to live with this. It's been someone put a apostille on it. It's like, that's it, you're gonna be chronic sick for the rest of your life, and you can come and say no, you don't have to, it's a choice. So thank you so much for bringing that awareness and that hope to so many women. Thank you for being here. I'm super, super excited to dive a little bit deeper into the Micro Summit when we're going to hear you speaking there. So, we are super excited about that. And we're going to have amazing speakers speaking on the Micro Summit on all the faces and all the shapes and all the perspective of the chronic illness, and also about the recovering too and how that's possible. So, thank you for being part of our panel. Thank you for being part of our wellness providers, that you are one of the resources that people can connect with, and they can ask the questions and get the answer that they're looking for. Thank you so much for being part of our Body, Mind, and Soul network. Dee, we're super excited to see you soon. And also I'm excited to be part of the work that you are doing. Thank you, everyone. Connect with Dee. We're gonna find all the informations in the link in the comments, and also join our next Micro Summit. You're gonna find it there. If you want to connect with her in more depth, on our Micro Summit, definitely you are going to have the opportunity to do with the VIP. Purchasing the VIP ticket is not just going to give you a one-on-one or being in the Zoom room with all the speakers, and you can be almost like a hot seat where you're going to get all the speakers their attention on you, so they can support you with your chronic illness, and any questions that you have that you don't feel comfortable to ask maybe in the live stream, you can come in the Zoom room with them and you have your time with them. So please connect with that, and you will have all the details in the link to register. You still have time to register, so super excited to see you there. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye bye. Thank you, Dee.
Bye.